We all know that feeling. That moment when you have a task staring you down. Maybe it's an email you need to send, a report to start, or even just tackling that pile of laundry. You know you should begin. You probably even want to finish it. But for some reason, you just can't. You scroll, you get a snack, you tidy something else. Anything but that one thing. What if I told you this isn't necessarily a sign of laziness or a lack of willpower, but rather a common struggle rooted in a fundamental cognitive skill? Welcome. Today, we're going to demystify something called task initiation, that crucial ability to move from thinking about a task to actually starting it. We'll explore why it's so challenging for many of us, and more importantly, uncover some practical, evidence-informed workarounds to help you overcome that initial hurdle and get things moving. Task initiation is a cornerstone of our executive functions, which are a set of mental skills managed by the frontal lobes of our brain. Think of them as the CEO of your brain, orchestrating everything from planning and organizing to focusing and, yes, starting tasks. When task initiation works well, we seamlessly transition from intention to action. When it doesn't, we often find ourselves stuck in a cycle of procrastination, feeling frustrated and overwhelmed. It's truly paramount for productivity, for achieving our goals, and simply for navigating the demands of daily life. So why is it so hard sometimes? The difficulty in getting started often stems from a complex interplay of psychological, neurological, and environmental factors. It's rarely just one thing, which is why a nuanced understanding is so important. Let's begin with the psychological and emotional barriers. We often struggle because tasks can feel enormous or overly complex, leading to a sense of being completely overwhelmed. Imagine looking at a mountain and being told to climb it without any gear or a map. That's how a big task can feel. Then there's the fear of failure, or its close cousin, perfectionism, which makes us hesitant to even begin if we can't guarantee a flawless outcome. Anxiety can paralyze us, boredom can drain our motivation, and decision fatigue from a day full of choices can leave us with no energy to choose to start this particular thing. Sometimes there's even a quiet sense of shame for not having started sooner. Beyond our thoughts and feelings, there are genuine neurological aspects at play. Our brains, particularly the prefrontal cortex, are deeply involved. For some, lower levels of dopamine, that neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, can diminish our motivation and the anticipation of a positive outcome. This makes it inherently harder to start. Consider conditions like ADHD, where the brain truly requires higher activation energy. For individuals with ADHD, it's not about lacking desire. It's a tangible resistance that the brain experiences, making initiation a significant challenge, far beyond mere laziness. This is a critical distinction that neuroscience is increasingly clarifying. Finally, our environment and immediate situation also play a huge role. External distractions, the ping of a notification, a messy workspace, an unclear understanding of how to approach a task, or simply poor time management can all create friction, making that initial push feel insurmountable. It's like trying to start a car with the handbrake on and flat tires. Now, the good news is that understanding these underlying challenges opens the door to effective strategies. We're not looking for a just-do-it quick fix, because that often overlooks the genuine complexities involved. Instead, we're aiming for practical workarounds that address these specific barriers. One of the most powerful strategies is task breakdown. This means deconstructing large, intimidating tasks into much smaller, more manageable micro-commitments or micro-starts. If you need to write a report, don't think write report. Think open document, write title, create heading for first section. Each small step reduces the overwhelm. Next, we have time-based techniques. The 2-minute rule, popularized by James Clear, suggests that if a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. For bigger tasks, try the 5-minute rule. Commit to just 5 minutes of work. Often, once you start, the momentum carries you forward. The Pomodoro technique, which involves focused work bursts followed by short breaks, is another excellent way to build this momentum consistently. Environmental design is crucial. An organized workspace with minimal distractions reduces the friction to starting. Clear your desk, close unnecessary browser tabs, put your phone on silent. Make it as easy as possible to engage with the task and as difficult as possible to get sidetracked. Sometimes we need a little external nudge. That's where accountability and external commitment come in. Tell a friend or colleague about your intention to start a task, or even make a public commitment. Knowing someone else expects you to act can leverage social pressure in a positive way. To boost that internal drive, consider motivation and reward systems. This isn't about bribing yourself, but about strategically connecting tasks with positive associations. This could be cognitive pairing, doing something slightly pleasant while you work, like listening to a specific playlist, or giving yourself an immediate small reward after a micro start. These small dopamine hits can reinforce the positive habit of initiation. Mindset shifts are also incredibly impactful. Letting go of perfectionism and adopting a good enough approach can liberate you from the fear of failure. Instead of dreading a task, try reframing it as an opportunity to learn or contribute. This simple mental tweak can significantly alleviate psychological barriers. Planning and routines offer a robust framework. Implementation intentions, a concept from Peter Goldwitzer, are if-then plans. If it's 9 a.m., then I will open my email. Pre-deciding exactly when and where you'll start a task significantly reduces cognitive load and decision fatigue. Establishing consistent daily routines also builds a habit of initiating specific tasks at certain times. Visual cues and progress tracking can be powerful motivators. Checklists, visual schedules, or even just a simple tracking app can provide clear guidance and, importantly, visible progress. Seeing how far you've come, even with just a few small steps, can fuel further action. Finally, there's a technique I like to call softening the blow. If a task feels particularly dreadful, engage in a brief, slightly more engaging transitional activity right before it. Maybe it's listening to a favorite song, taking a quick walk, or even just tidying a small corner of your desk. This can ease the mental shift and make the dreaded task feel less abrupt. It's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The most effective strategies are highly individualized. What works for one person might not work for another, because the root causes of initiation difficulty are unique to each of us. This is why resources from executive function coaching services, ADHD centers, and various online platforms emphasize tailored approaches. They understand that what seems like laziness is often a complex executive function challenge, not a moral failing. The ongoing conversation around task initiation highlights a crucial shift in our understanding. We're moving away from judgmental labels and towards evidence-based compassion. Researchers continue to explore the neurological underpinnings, while coaches and therapists develop increasingly nuanced and personalized interventions. This evolving perspective is destigmatizing a common struggle, recognizing that it's a genuine brain-based difference for many, rather than a character flaw. So the next time you find yourself stuck, staring at that undone task, take a breath. Remind yourself that this isn't about a lack of willpower, it's about a skill you can develop. Experiment with these strategies. Try breaking down the task, setting a timer for just 5 minutes, or creating a small reward for starting. Be patient and kind to yourself through the process. By understanding the complexities of task initiation and applying these practical workarounds, you can begin to build momentum, one micro start at a time, and empower yourself to move forward with greater ease and confidence.